Hello and welcome. We are just getting very close to the Lionsgate portal of 8-8. And I've mentioned it on a guided meditation the other day for Life Path. And I've had some questions about what is this and what does it mean and how does it pertain to them and energetics. So I wanted to just kind of do a little video here to talk a little bit about that, to kind of understand more about what the Lionsgate is. Now, one thing to keep in mind is I'm a Leo, so I've always felt very strong energy during this time of year. Some of that's because the solar return of my chart, it's like, it's just, this is the time that I zing. But it's probably around 2016, I started working with Dr. Allison J.K., and she works with Vibrational Upgrade Medicine, and I absolutely adore working with her. And so she's really the first person who kind of started to explain to me what the Lionsgate was. Then since then, I've participated with Shakti Botatsi on Lionsgate portals and other meditations, group healing. So I'm really kind of understanding the energetics of what this galactic portal, what this planetary alignment means. And so basically, when people talk about the Lionsgate portal, it's an energetic time in our astrology, in our astrological charts. If you've ever heard of the star system Orion, you look at Orion's belt, and there's the three, I was painting earlier today. So you look at the three little stars in his belt. And then if you go right underneath that, there's the star system Sirius. And Sirius is a galactic gateway. It's like our planetary galactic brothers and sisters. And Sirius is known for wisdom. And it has been celebrated and known in many cultures. The most known would be the Egyptians. So in the time of the Egyptians, they really worked with the wisdom from Sirius, and they actually, the Great Pyramid in Giza actually lines up. So it goes Orion's belt, Sirius, and then the Great Pyramid of Giza. And so probably around like July 26th, the people in Egypt would notice that when that star started to get close to that pyramid, that would be the time that the Nile would flood, and the abundance of food and a plenty. I mean, it's just an absolute gift of prosperity and luck. So Sirius has been kind of connotated with wisdom and with prosperity and abundance, fertility and harvest. So this is kind of the energetics that we're looking at right now. There's I need to look it up. There's the Dogon tribe, I believe they're pronounced Dogon tribe, in West Africa that also celebrate the star system Sirius. And Sirius is actually from the planetary system Dogon. And I don't know too much about that, but I do know that they are a culture and a tradition that's even older than the Egyptians, and they've been holding and keeping this wisdom for a very long time. So this energetics and this information has been around for a long time. And if you look at sacred architecture, whether you go to Jerusalem or Paris or Turkey or, all of, the Mycenaeans and the Minoans, and we have all of these ancient sacred texts that have the two lions standing. I mean, it's just one of the most pinnacle images for power and abundance. Even the movies have taken it with the Lionsgate, the movie system, right? Like this is all energetics. This is all connected. Hollywood really knows their stuff, and they're taking a lot of really sacred imagery, and they're, using it not always for the good, but it's because they understand the power of it, which is why we have to start reclaiming some of this power for ourselves and for our own manifestation and our own abundance. In terms of the ancient cultures too, one thing you want to think about is even the Chinese, the Chinese unicorn, it looks like a lion, right? Like, so we have these symbols over and over and over through the sacred archaeology. And again, unicorns, abundance, fertility, success, love, wishes, they're all kind of connected. And there are these little magical seeds that have been planted throughout our history and our folklore and our fairy tales that are all just here to remind us of what we're capable of in these times. And so when we are moving into energetic times, like right now, this is an amazing time for manifestation. This is an amazing time to be really letting go of the old and creating the new for you, calling in the new you, calling in the manifestation, calling in abundance, calling in prosperity, calling in health. Like, this is the time to be doing it. The lions, I mean, I know that I'm connected to the Leos because I'm a Leo, but the symbol of the lion itself, I mean, you think about it, it's protection, it's strength, it's courage, and, abundance. We have, I always think of abundance when I think of lions. I always see those images of the beautiful cat. And it's all connected. These are all seeds that have been planted. So right now, this is a time when we are going to be harvesting that energy. And because this is connected to the Sirius star system, the Dogon, star system behind it, and then Orion's belt here, it's essentially connecting us to our galactic gateway. And I have some friends over here. I can kind of see them. That's interesting. So we have our galactic gateway, our brothers and sisters that are here to support us and to help us. And so this is a time when we can use the energetics of this alignment. And this alignment is not just of the Sirius star system. If you look at many, many other cultures, this time period, August 1st, you have Lunasa, you have all of these different cultures that are celebrating this harvest time. And that's really what this is. This is kind of the halfway point between we're halfway. We're almost at halfway between the fall equinox and the spring equinox, right? We're halfway right now. So we're at that balance point as well. So we're balancing that time, that energetic. So it's a balance and moving towards the harvest is coming through, right? What we're harvesting now is what's going to sustain us through the winter that's coming forward, through the dry period of the Nile. And when we're connecting to our galactic family, which is essentially what this energetic does, it allows us to embody the wisdom that we have now, and then also connect into this new technologies, these new wisdoms of our galactic and cosmic families. And there's so much talk right now. I mean, congressional hearings out right now where they're just basically admitting, like, yeah, aliens exist, and we know that. And just, we're all like, okay, I've been saying it for years. I've been researching it. I've been just feeling into the galactic and cosmic families before I even understood this. And then probably since, for me, my spiritual awakening was probably around, I'd like to say when I was pregnant with my daughter, 2010, all the way through now has been like growing steadily stronger and stronger. 2020, of course, was the big cherry on the top, because that's when we all had to go inwards. We were forced, we were shut down. It was beautiful. This is all planned. This is all part of the story that is unfolding, because, do you want us to talk a little bit about the Syrians? You're going to talk about your cosmic family, little kitty cat. Cats are very connected. Of course, in Egypt, they connected to the cats, and the cats are also connected to the star system of Lyra. And so we have this energetic connection. And whenever I do videos like this, my cat usually wants to come and be around. My dog is also here too. So I must have a lot of friends coming in to visit me, because they're both checking in to see if we're okay. I love animals. And so there's my dog. We're all connected, and our animals love us very much. And so too do our galactic guides and our galactic families. Plato speaks of Atlantis. It's a quote, that there was a beautiful city that in disruption ended up under the sea. And it's in history, like, we know it happened because Plato talks about it. So, and I was watching the movie Atlantis. There's a Disney version of it with my daughter. One of the first Disney movies that she and I watched together. And she had a remembering, even like 2 or 3 years old, and she didn't remember watching it. And I was like, oh, this is a really good time to watch it. And I watched it with my son, who's now younger, and we were all just kind of mesmerized. We were just watching it, and it just felt like a story that we remembered, that we enjoyed. And there's so much symbolism that's in our culture, that's in our world, that's in our archetype. It's in our soul. We have these memories. We have these like little inklings, like, oh, this means something. I don't know why this means something, but this means something. And this is the time when we start to understand it. We are going to be experiencing much more profound disclosures as we get closer and closer. But this, my teacher, Allison J.K., keeps talking about this as being the hugest evolutionary leap in mankind between 2012 and 2032. And we're right in the middle. We're kind of, peaking that towards the side, because this is really when we decide of what kind of earth we're going to be creating and manifesting. And we are really, truly manifesting right now. So be very gentle, be very kind with your thoughts. I know that this last full moon that just came up just knocked me on my butt. Like every shadow I had, every fear, every doubt, every worry, every misery just came back. No matter how much I work on them, there's layers, and it's like, God, I'm not done with that yet. I'm still working on that. Okay, let's do this. Let's keep working on it. And it's hard, it's hard to admit that you still have these layers that are just ick, and you have to keep going through them. And every time you do, it gets better and better, and you get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're still getting closer and closer to the core. So Atlantis was in the Atlantic. This we know. The ancient wisdom said that there were 7 different teachers that survived from Atlantis, and they moved to all of the different cultures, the Minoans, and they created the seeds for all of us to remember. And then at some point, we're all going to be coming back together to have the remembering of the new golden age, which will be Atlantis 2.0. And that's kind of what we're into right now. That's kind of what we're feeling into. Atlantis was not, it was thousands and thousands and thousands of years it was around. So it had this huge history before the fall. And then when it fell, that's what created the world that we really have now. And all the main cultures have the flood tradition. So we know that there was a cataclysmic event that happened. And from that cataclysmic event, society did not die, but it rebirthed and it created something new, which is what we're in now. So we want to think too about we're in a new phase right now where we're going to be blossoming, kind of like those were the seeds that were planted, and now the blossom is starting to come up, and there might be destruction and there might be change, but we have to remember that in the face of chaos, create seeds of change, which is beautiful. And we are the seeds of change, and our thoughts, our deeds, our words, our actions, our manifestations are literally creating the world. And so choose love, not fear. And that's really what this time period is about. And all of my friends, everyone that's involved in this spirituality, we're all like kind of excited to see what August is going to be about, because the energetics are just so intense that are coming in right now. We're all feeling it. We're all feeding off of it. And I'm in a lot of different, groups on Facebook, and everybody's feeling it, even though people that don't understand what it is, they're like, I'm buzzing. I don't know why. What is this? This is all kind of connected to that energetics, connected to the Lionsgate portal. So let's think a little bit about our galactic family. Now we know, if you've worked with me, especially in my my chakra embodiment course, of the 7 main chakras. If you've worked in my advanced classes, you might know of the 12 main chakra columns. There are thousands of chakras, but it's how our body connects into the world. And the Lion's Gate for me is very much connected to the 12th chakra, the stellar gateway. So that's connecting. There's the cosmos, and then there's the galaxy, and then there's the the crown, the gateway causal, and then there's the crown, and this is all feeding in to who we are. And this opening up. Now, the one thing that's really important is, if you are opening up your stellar gateway or your galactic channels and you're not grounded, you're going to be getting into accidents. You're going to be tripping all over the place. It's going to be really hard. And I know, because that was me for like years, and I'm starting to get to the point now where I'm grounded. And it's still hard for me. Like sometimes all of a sudden I'm floating and I'm forgetful and I'm all over the place, and I'm like, whoa, I am not grounded. So we can't be floating off in the cosmos if we're not embodied. So we have to remember first to ground our energy into the earth, to ground our light into the earth, because that's going to really be what anchors in the light. I say that all the time. If you work with me, how many times have I said anchor in the light? That is our job right now. Our job isn't to float away into the galactic, cosmos. Our job isn't to, float away and ascend. Our job is to anchor in the light. Once we do that, then we can ascend. Yeah, sure. But right now, our job, we chose to be embodied. We chose to be here on Earth. We chose to be where we are on Earth. We're all part of the crystalline grid all over the planet. All of my friends, I have a network of healers and sisterhood all over the planet: Scotland, South Africa, Argentina, Australia, New Zealand. I mean, we just, we light up the globe when we're together. And that's amazing because we're really anchoring in that light. Just in the United States of America, I've got clients in New Hampshire and Ohio and California and Florida, all over the place. That's the light. We're anchoring it in all around the planet. We're creating this grid together. So that way we could be anchoring in this light, because we're mirror images of the earth. So we want to anchor in that energy for Gaia, for Mother Earth, because as we evolve and ascend or connected to the stellar gateways and these portals, so too is the earth evolving and changing. So we're mirrors of each other. So when you're working with this time period, you're working with the Lion's Gate, first thing you want to do is ground your energy, because you want to be fully connected and really connected into that earth star chakra, right? That's sending your roots all the way down to the center of the earth, connecting to that crystal that's in the center of the earth. And then from there, then you can start lighting up and bringing that energy up through, and then up through. There's your crown chakra, of course, it's the 7th chakra. And there's there's another chakra that's like kind of like right behind it, just a little bit above, and then go up. And then you go up and up and up. And then the stellar gateway is the 12th chakra. It's all the way up at the top. And you want to think about like a beam of energy, kind of bringing this energy down and moving up. So you want this energy kind of flowing through you. And the whole point of having your chakras and working with them is that the energy is able to move down. It doesn't get stuck at your third eye and create confusion and chaos and what is reality and what is not. It doesn't get stuck at your throat chakra and you start lying and telling mistruths and fake news, like, right? Or you don't want to say it at your heart, and then you start just loving everybody and losing yourself, and you're losing your self power and your will because you're lost in the contentment of serving others. You don't want it to get stuck in your solar plexus, because then it gets the power and greed and confusion. You get power hungry and you start just thinking that you're godlike. You don't want it to be stuck in your sacral chakra, because then all the fear and trauma and wounds could just create fear, and you're terrified and you can't move. You don't want to get stuck in your root chakra, because then it's survival and you feel like you can't survive and you're afraid for your life. We need the energy flowing from the stellar gateway all the way to the earth star chakra and back and forth. We need to be pure and open channels, and that's what we're praying for. That's when you're working with healers and you're finding your spiritual community. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for people that have open channels and will help you to become an open channel. We are all healers, and healers know that if you work with someone, our job isn't to spend our time healing them for their entire life. Our job is to give them the tools so that way they can heal themselves. I've actually had to stop working with a couple people because they just would have kept working with me forever. And there comes a point where I have to say, like, you have to do some of this work on your own. I've got to let you go for a little while. And then when you're ready and you've done your own tools and you feel like you're at a next level, then we can start working together. But like, I've taken you to the point where I can take you, because I just can't keep fixing you and then have you know it feels good, so you keep coming back, right? Like, then that's not me being a good teacher. I have to teach you how to heal yourself. And then when you're ready, you can begin to help others. That's the cycle. And then maybe even you help your healer, your teacher heal, because we're all connected, right? We come into each other's lives. It's not always just supposed to be a down hierarchy symbol. That energetics of the guru and finding the right teacher for yourself and then like being subservient to them, like master teacher, that's over. We need to find people that we can work with, that we can continue to work with and continue to learn with and grow with, that become our friends and fellow healers and coworkers. So I'm wrapping up because the family's getting home now. In terms of manifestation, really work right now. It's a beautiful time to write a letter to your old self and completely, just loving like your love old self and just like, I love you so much and I love where you've gone, but it's time to let you go. And then burn it on the 8/8 portal and just completely let that go, so you can start manifesting the new. Make a list on 8/8 of what you want to manifest and what you want to create. And it is now 4:44, and I'm going to take that as a perfect sign to sign off. Thank you, my beloveds. If you want to work with me, check out my website. It's heartasacompass.com or paigelussier.com. Blessings. Bye-bye.